He checked into a hotel. He walked up to the front desk, waited his turn, gave his name, showed his passport, paid for the room, and received a key card. Nothing unusual. A routine moment that happens thousands of times every day. But there is one disturbing detail. He never entered his room. Not that night. Not ever. The story you are about to hear is based on real events. All names and dates are real. There are no accusations here. No unproven claims presented as facts, and no fictional crimes. Only a sequence of strange and unresolved events that still have no clear explanation. Lars Mittank was born on February 8, 1986, in Germany. He lived a normal life, grew up in an ordinary family, received a technical education, and worked as an engineer. According to friends and relatives, Lars was calm, rational, and not prone to risky or impulsive behavior. He had no criminal history, no substance abuse issues, and no known mental health diagnoses. His life was stable and predictable. In the summer of 2014, Lars traveled to Bulgaria with a group of friends for a vacation. They chose the popular resort Golden Sands, a place known for beaches, hotels, and nightlife. The trip was planned in advance. Flights were booked, accommodations arranged. There was nothing unusual or alarming about the journey. The first days of the vacation went exactly as expected. During the day, the beach, the sea, the heat. In the evenings, walks along the promenade, cafes, conversations over drinks. Lars appeared relaxed, social, and in good spirits. But 2 days before their scheduled return flight, something happened that would change everything. Late at night, a verbal conflict occurred between Lars's group and another group of tourists. According to witnesses, it did not escalate into a serious fight, but there were raised voices and physical tension. Afterward, Lars complained of sharp pain in his ear, pressure in his head, and dizziness. At first, he tried to ignore it, but by the next morning his condition worsened. Lars visited a doctor who diagnosed a ruptured eardrum. He was prescribed antibiotics and given a clear warning. Flying the next few days could be dangerous. Changes in air pressure could lead to severe complications. He was advised to delay his return. As a result, Lars's friends flew back to Germany without him. This decision was mutual and seemed reasonable at the time. Lars stayed in contact, reassuring everyone that he would recover and return home soon. He packed his belongings and moved to a different hotel, a cheaper one, located not at the resort but in the city of Varna. On the morning of July 9th, 2014, Lars arrived at Hotel Color. It was a small city hotel, modest but clean, suitable for a short stay. He entered the building with a backpack, approached the front desk, and waited for the receptionist. Later, hotel staff would recall that Lars appeared tired but polite and calm. He spoke quietly, asked a few basic questions, paid for the room, received his key card, and thanked the employee. Officially, the check-in process was complete, but Lars did not go to his room. Instead of heading toward the elevator or staircase, he remained in the lobby. He sat down on a couch, placed his backpack beside him, and checked his phone several times. He stood up, walked to the window, looked outside, then stepped out of the hotel briefly before returning. This pattern repeated. Security cameras recorded his movements. Lars was visible in the lobby, near the entrance, outside the building. But there is no footage of him going upstairs. No record of him using the elevator or the stairs. Later, when staff checked the room, they found it completely untouched. The bed was perfectly made. The bathroom was dry. The trash bin was empty. It looked as though no one had ever been there. The room existed only on paper. That same day, Lars made several phone calls to his mother. The conversations were short and troubling. He said he felt uneasy, that people around him seemed strange, that he felt watched. He could not explain exactly why, only that something felt wrong. His mother tried to calm him down. She encouraged him to return to the hotel, take his medication, and rest. Lars agreed verbally, but his fear remained. He repeated that he did not feel safe being alone. These were the last conversations in which his speech was coherent and structured. On the morning of July 10th, 2014, Lars went to Varna Airport. He intended to ask about changing his flight and confirm when he would be allowed to travel. He carried his backpack, documents, and phone. He never returned to the hotel. Airport surveillance cameras captured him entering the terminal. He walked normally, looking around, as if listening closely to the environment. Then he suddenly stopped, turned his head sharply, froze for a moment, and without any visible trigger, began to run. He abandoned his belongings. He ran out of the terminal. He climbed over a fence and disappeared into the wooded area beyond the airport. That was the last confirmed sighting of Lars Mittank. Search operations began quickly. Police reviewed airport footage and questioned hotel staff, who confirmed that Lars had checked in but never entered his room. This detail immediately stood out. Search teams combed the area around the airport. Fields, shrubs, forest patches, abandoned buildings, service roads. Dogs, helicopters, and volunteers were used. No trace of Lars was found. No clothing, no phone, no backpack. Investigators returned repeatedly to the hotel footage. Lars appeared tense, but not aggressive. No conflict was observed. No one reported an incident. Yet his behavior suggested hesitation, waiting, uncertainty. Small details raised questions. He never asked about breakfast, never asked for directions, never left his backpack behind. These are things most travelers do instinctively. Lars acted as if he was not planning to stay. According to his mother, during their calls he said that something about the hotel felt wrong. He could not explain what, only that he sensed danger. Medical experts suggested that the ruptured eardrum, combined with antibiotics, heat, dehydration, and stress, could have caused disorientation and panic. Such conditions can trigger paranoia and impulsive reactions. Psychologists added that isolation can intensify anxiety. The hotel lobby was open and populated. The room was enclosed and solitary. For someone experiencing panic, isolation may feel more threatening than exposure. Importantly, no evidence of a crime was found. No signs of violence. No proof of pursuit or interference by others. All theories remained speculative. Over time, the case gained international attention. Lars Mittank became a symbol of so-called silent disappearances. Cases where a person vanishes without criminal indicators or a clear breaking point. The hotel remains the most unsettling element of the story, a place meant for rest and safety, which he could not bring himself to enter, a threshold he never crossed. Years have passed. The case remains open. Lars Mittank has been officially missing since July 2014. There are no easy answers in this story. No villain. No obvious mistake. Only a man who followed every reasonable step and still disappeared. He checked into a hotel, but perhaps that was the moment his journey truly ended. If you watched until the end, write in the comments which theory you find most convincing. Was it a medical condition, psychological overload, or a chain of unpredictable events? Subscribe to the channel if you're interested in real disappearance cases with no simple explanations. Here, we focus on facts and leave conclusions to you.